At Believe, our mission is to develop recording artists and labels in the digital world. We believe that the best way to accomplish our mission is to provide them the solutions they need to grow their audience at each stage of their career. Streaming has changed how people discover music, paving the way for the rise of independent artists and labels. With digital, new generations of millions of aspiring artists can now take their music to the world with TuneCore. In this decade, more artists than ever will find a path to make a living of their art, freely and independently. Digital is changing the way artists are developed. Thousands of artists and labels are now using Believe's technology platform, innovative digital solutions, and relying on the expertise of our local teams in 50 countries. To our 1,500 Believers, continue to learn and be inspired by the many artists whose careers you're contributing to elevate, and be proud of the labels you've helped develop in the past 15 years. To artists and labels, we thank you for trusting us with your creative life, with your digital business. Your independence, your power, and your freedom is our strength. We believe in you. To our digital partners, your unwavering engagement by our side propels us forward. To our new shareholders, your investment will support the development of our talent, our technology platform, and the acquisition of new capabilities. Together, let's shape a respectful, diverse, fair, and transparent future for independent artists and labels. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis, and welcome back to the Music Matters Academy. Great day today. Talking a lot about marketing and how to get your name out. You've got an album recorded, tick. You've uploaded your album or your track to the World Wide Web, tick. You have recorded an amazing video, tick, but no one's watching it. So now what? And what we've really learned from today's sessions is some fascinating insights. And if you haven't watched the sessions, go back to our YouTube channel because they're all there. But we've learned that you and your band is a brand, and brands need fans. But for most, fans won't come to you. You have to take it to them. Your music, your life. So this final session today is all about how to market yourself and your content above the line, below the line, using social media, traditional media, any kind of marketing. And as we said before, the hint here is it's really not easy. So please please listen, take loads of notes, ask questions. Please ask questions. We have 3 great ladies, great speakers to show us the way today. We have from Platform, we have Donna Inexum. She's the head of music label partnerships at Facebook. You may have heard of Facebook. From the creator side of the world, creator side of the fence, we have a wonderful friend, Ivy Wong. She's the founder and CEO of VS Media. So she's going to talk about how creators are connecting with their fans. But first, we're going to hear from the music company. And we are very, very lucky today to have the Director of Artist Services and Development from Believe, Shilpa Sharda. So Shilpa, hello, welcome to the Music Matters Academy. Please tell us, where are you? Who are you? What's your background? And what do you do for Believe?
Yeah, thank you so much for such a great introduction, and thank you so much for having us. Me, Shilpa, I am from India, living in India for sure. I handle artist services for Believe in India. And to introduce myself as a friend to you, I think I'm first a music lover and then a music professional. I've been working in music business for last 15 years, and it's been a journey. I am from the lucky few people who are basically working what they love the most, so it's not a work for me.
That's fantastic. So, what do you do at Believe? So you're working in your passion, but what do you actually do? What's your job?
So Believe, as you would have seen the starting video, the people who are watching it, they would have seen that Believe works with artist and label. I, at India level, is working with artist and label in developing their career at all stages of of their life, whether they are emerging artists, whether they are mid-level artists or a top-level artist. We are giving them platform, we are giving them investment, we are giving them team as a management, as a strategy, we are giving them promotional platforms, we are giving them marketing strategies, we are giving them a 360-degree development platform, and we are one-stop shop for most of the artists. And I would say we are a hybrid model between a traditional label and DIY independent artists, where we are not only giving them technology where they can be independent and own their IP, we are basically giving them all the tools, the team, the resources, the investment to go ahead and go fast in their career instead of doing everything themselves.
So that's great. So that's Believe. What do you do? What is the director of artist services and development? What do you do day to day?
Technically, I'm lucky to meet a lot of artists, whether they're Indian, they're international. As you know, Believe has a lot of ecosystem of artists worldwide. So I'm meeting them, I'm working with them, selecting their content, creating a marketing strategy, giving them the right experience which we have with experts in our ecosystem, to make sure that they're not making mistakes as a newcomer or a developed artist chasing different set of goals. We are driving their business and making sure that they take their journey with the right set of teams.
Fantastic. So hopefully in a very short space of time, you're going to help us take us on a little bit of that journey today.
Absolutely.
What kind of artists you mentioned India and international? What do you predominantly work with? Pop, rock? I mean, what kind of artists you work? Who do you work with? Who are your clients?
In India, India is. I keep saying India has less of music genre, but languages. India is a mini world in itself. So I'm majorly working with Indian artists and helping them develop their career. And we are divided with languages in India. So instead of having pop, hip hop, or these specific genre, the way the international market work, we have languages, and I'm working with all the language artists in India, whether they are national or whether they are regional. So we are working with, example, a small segment of genre in India is Bhojpuri. We are working with the Bhojpuri or a Punjabi audience, which has massive reach in your Canada, UK, Australia. So we are working on all set of artists who truly believe and wants to be independent and just wants the right setup to go ahead in their career and be independent on their music journey.
So I think, you're absolutely perfect for this session today, where we're talking about predominantly about marketing. There's so many different ways of answering this question, but with a marketing context, what advice can you, if you met an artist who's new, who's just started their career as an artist? It's tough, right? It's a really, really tough gig. What advice would you give them to be able to market themselves? We said, we've written a song, we've created it, we've uploaded it, we've created a great video. Now what?
I think you have basically asked the right question. I so want to share this experience with the rest of the people and artists who are out there. I personally feel that there are a lot of things which an artist does a mistake when they're starting their career, which leads to delay of their success. Firstly, I would say is, as an artist, be patient. There's no shortcut to a successful career or a super hit or a viral track. It takes its own journey. You need to be patient to create great content and have a great team backing you up. Without a team and ecosystem to back you up in your journey, you lost track of what new technology is coming in, how things are working. And when you say while you're developing yourself and trying to release your content, make sure that you have that management company and a right team to support you with right knowledge. Because as a creator, when I look at an artist, I'm looking forward to a person who is creative enough and creating beautiful concept. They will not have business knowledge, they won't have technology, how Facebook is working, how I need to perform on TikTok, how do I do my strategy on YouTube to grow my business. So all these things is not your role, it's your management and your team's roles, and select that right team to go ahead with them.
So what are the common errors that you see from artists? What are the things that they kind of get wrong?
I think majorly the artists, whether they are emerging or they're mid-level or top-level artists, I feel that the artists who are basically losing out their fans, They need to know that their music is created not for themselves, it's created for masses. That's how they become super hit or the viral track comes in picture. So of course, have a strategy, be true, have the right genre of the music, and create your own persona and image. Like example, you're a hip hop artist. If you are in a three-piece suit and trying to just be formal with your audience, they will not connect with you. So you need to know yourself, your genre, and create an image and a storyline for yourself. Same time, you need to have a right team to give you expertise on different platforms which are important to connect with your fan base and audience. And your target should be creating super fans. These are the people who will listen to your music 10 times in a day. These are the people who will go on stores and watch your video on YouTube. These are the people who will go on live shows and pay money to see you live. So the target should be creating super fan, and with the right team, you will get that kind of setup to create super fans, which will make your track go viral.
Fantastic. So Shilpa, it's lovely to meet you here. We're going to whisk you off into the virtual back room, but you're going to come back. We're going to see Shilpa again when there's a group session. That's when please get all your questions in. Inderjit, we have your question. We'll ask Shilpa when she comes back. But anyone in the internet and World Wide Web world, please get your questions and we can ask them to the panel when they come back, or we can ask them individually when we're talking to them. So up next, we have from the platform we're going to talk to now. We're going to talk to, you may have heard of Facebook. We have Donna Inatsum. She is the head of music label partnerships APAC at Facebook. She's a very, very good friend of ours. Donna, welcome to the Music Matters Academy. Thank you so much for joining us. Same question that I asked Shilpa is where are you right now? What's your background? And what do you do for Facebook? Or more importantly, what do you tell your friends you do? Or what do your friends think you do for Facebook?
I'm French with Lao origins, and I've been living in Singapore for 10 years now. So as you said, I work at Facebook as the head of music label partnerships APAC. But before that, I worked at the French Music Export Office in Tokyo, supporting the French music industry to find some deals in Japan. I also worked at Music Services Asia. That's when we first met, Jasper. And I worked at Deezer and MTV Asia as head of labels and talents. But
now we may have it.
My friends would know that I work at Facebook. We just launched stickers on
Donna,
Facebook story.
Now, you probably need to say that last bit again because your internet just cut out a little bit. So
Oh, no.
What do your friends think you do for Facebook?
They just know that I work at Facebook and that I am part of the team who launched music stickers for Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
So what is your role at Facebook? Because you do a lot with musicians around the region, right?
Yes. So I the team that is responsible for developing and managing relationships for music product launches. We just launched the music stickers in Facebook Singapore yesterday, which is very exciting for all of us. And then I also work with my team. We work with the music labels to advise on how to take advantage of all the Facebook's audio features. Fantastic.
Now, Donna, we've had a couple of glitches on the internet today with you. So it seems to have. No, you've stopped again. Right. Here's what we're going to do, Donna. We are going to whisk you away into the back room. We're going to meet Ivy Wong now, and hopefully we can get your Donna's internet back to normal. We can work with you again. So Ivy, hello, welcome back to Music Matters. Welcome back to actually first time at the Academy, but it's great to see you again. Now I know who you are, but please let the World Wide Web know who is Ivy Wong. What do you do for a living? What is VS Media, and where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm now from Hong Kong, so I'm very peaceful here now. So today is our Mid-Autumn Festival, so we are going to celebrate. here in Hong Kong. So little bit background about myself. So I have been in the media industry for quite long. So I'm starting from Yahoo and then joining a Chinese TV broadcaster and then joining a publication company. So my career is all the way backward from new media to TV to print. But then in those traditional media, basically helping them to do transformation from traditional to new digital environment. So I basically earned my name as the female transformer in the media industry in Hong Kong. So it's a fun name for me. After so many years in the traditional media scene, so I feel that it's time for me to build up my own media network. So I believe like the new media ecosystem is not from top down, it's actually from ground up. So that's where BS Media is basically democratized media by building up the digital media network by creator. So creator basically are the individual who can create, who have their social media influence, and then they have the commercialized power. So that's where we're starting to sign up creator, working with them, helping them to produce content, helping them to distribute content, and helping them to monetize their content. So in the last few years, we have office in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Shanghai. Very strong Greater China presence and focusing on the Chinese global populations. And then in China, we basically have a very unique positioning by helping the international creator to expand into China and then helping the China creator to expand to the world. So that's where, in a nutshell, what we do and what my background is.
Fantastic. Can you name any of the creators that you're working with, or what kind of creators you're working with, what genres they're in, what platforms you're working with? Who do you work with and how?
Yeah, so honestly speaking, so we are not particularly strong in music. So we are very focusing on lifestyle content, be it at like travel, trends, motivational, finance. And we're looking at creators, they have like certain passion in a certain area. So one of the creators that we work with very closely is like Jeremy Jonesy. He is the founder and CEO of Beautiful Destination, which is the bigger travel destination in the whole world. They have like over 35 million fan base in the whole world. So what we have been doing is like we're trying to work with him closely by bringing him into China through localizing his content and helping him to engage with the Chinese population, even though he cannot speak any Mandarin, but then he can still engage and communicate with the Chinese population there, and then find some kind of monetization model within China. So that's like one of the examples that we are working.
So look, I think it's one of the reasons why we invited you today is because you don't work with musicians, but you work with a lot of very successful creators who have huge communities and fan bases and marketing content to them, and they understand how to do it, right? And sometimes musicians, like we said, they've created great content, but they think that that's enough, and the fans will come to them, and that doesn't happen. So what advice would you give to young musicians who are starting their careers based on all the amazing experience you have of working with creators, YouTube stars or Weibo, or, in China, or what advice would you give to young musicians?
I think one of the things is like being a musician in this era is so difficult because like it's not just like creating your music and then publish your music. There's a lot more that you have to do. So like for the audience, they really want to understand who you are, what you represent, and then say what view that you have and what information or what inspiration you want to give it to the world. So they want to most of the audience want to know who you are, and then particularly they want to engage and communicate with you. So during the old days, the audience worship musician, right? But now in this world, they want to engage and communicate with the musician. So they are not I want to worship you. I know you are up there. And then it's you are the idol for me. But now everyone wants to engage and communicate. So that's a new word. There's a new word recently coming out called genuine influencer. They say influencer is that. So they have this new terms called gender influencer. I even don't know how to pronounce it, but like it's talk about you have to be very generous and very authentic in order to be an influencer. You cannot just like build your influence by showing off, but then you have to basically show off your own personality on who you are. So it's getting a bit more difficult. But then I think for the musician, it's actually good for you because like when you create music, you want to represent something, you want to tell the world something, but now you can like speak it out loud.
Fantastic. So we asked this question to a lot of people. Is we're talking about how to get it right, but also where do you think creators or musicians are getting it wrong? What are the common rookie mistakes that they can make?
I think the major mistake for most of our creators make is like everyone want to be liked by someone, right? You will want to be like saying all the yes, yes, yes to your audience or to your fan base. But when you say too many yes, you becomes no personality or no character person. So then people don't like that. They want to see the authentic you. They want to be very transparent on who you are with your good and with your bad. So even though you are a bad person, or even though like at something that you have like a different view from the others, or like you have a different view from your fan base, you still have to present it in your own way, rather than saying something that you think the people will like it. So I was in the broadcaster industry before, so I work with a lot of artists. So artists normally being framed as a certain person, and then when you say something, you're still like talking about yourself as you are as an actor or as you are as an actress. So then that's a common mistake, that you become no personality. You become someone rather than the one that you want to present to your fan base.
And you mentioned earlier, we're talking about connecting, and how important is this? This seems like an easy question, but I know it's not. You're talking about Jeremy Jauncey in China and the fact that he doesn't speak Chinese. How important is the ability to connect in local languages? You can't. I mean, do we assume that English is fine around the world, or do I need to be connecting in those local languages?
I think like be able to speak some local language, just like a simple hello or like a simple thank you. So some kind of respect to the local audience, but you don't need to be speaking in fluent language. But like, of course, if you can, that's definitely add the value. But if you don't, you can basically still communicate with your fan base through different language, but showing respect to them. So like Jeremy, he always like starting with like a Mandarin saying hello, and that's it. It's all English afterward. And then it's like what we helping him to do on Weibo or do in Douyin, we translate what he's talking about from English to Chinese. So even some fans like always say like your Chinese is getting better by writing in Chinese. So even though they know this is not written by him, but then they feel that that's just like he's putting an effort on it. So I think that's already showing like an appreciation and putting an effort in communicating.
And then also we've touched on this on some other sessions as well. How important do you think it is for artists to collaborate with other artists and maybe get the language in that way?
I actually think it's very important to do collaborations. Doing collaboration, one is like you can mingle with the local, and then like you can basically learn more local stuff, and then you can earn fan base from each other's, and then you basically through the collaboration you can showcasing who you are more. By rather than you always being solo, because like the audience always want to see like how this person engaging with the other person or communicating with the other person, particularly when you're going to the China market, do collaboration with a Chinese celebrities or a Chinese musician. That will be a very good way to do.
Fantastic. Well, look, so I'm going to just, what we're going to do now, we're going to try and see if we can get Donna back. But first, thank you so much, Ivy. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival. Enjoy the mooncakes. I've got some downstairs that I'm looking forward to eating tomorrow. But don't go away, because you're going to come back at the end and we'll get everyone together. And please remember, everyone in the internet land, get your questions in. and we can ask them. We can ask them here. So, Donna, where are you, Donna? Oh, Donna, yes, yes. Is that working?
Sorry.
And just for everyone to know, we tested everyone, and everyone was perfect just before the session. So thank you. Welcome back to Music Matters Academy. Second time.
Sorry about this.
You look and sound perfect. So all good. Let's start again. Please. I think we nearly got to the what you do for Facebook, but both times you cut out. So tell us again. What do you do for Facebook?
So at Facebook, I'm the head of label partnerships for the APAC region. And this means that I lead a team responsible for developing and managing relationships with the music labels in APAC. So most of the time we work on Facebook and Instagram music products. We launch them in Asian markets, and we work closely with music labels to advise on how to take advantage of Facebook's audio features.
Fantastic. So we're not now. We're going to talk about artists today. I know you work with a lot of artists, and so less on the labels, more on the artists. But what kind of artists are you working with in the region? Are you working with just massive artists, or you work with young? What kind of artists? Who are you working with, and how do you work with them?
So we work actually a lot with the labels, and with the labels we devise on the campaign strategy for artists, and the size of the artist can vary a lot depending on the type of programs that we would be working on. So we do have some independent artist marketing programs for emerging artists, and we also have other types of programs to amplify and support more established artists. So it's very, very diversified, and it's all across the region. So it would be very difficult for me to just give you one name like that.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. And we're talking about marketing today as well. And so same questions the others. We've written a song. It's by the way, the song is amazing, and we've uploaded it, and we have an incredible video. How do I really get noticed? How do I use Facebook and Instagram to get my name out, my band out, my music out, my content out there? How do I work with Facebook and Instagram?
Yeah, so there's no magical solution to this. Every label and artist know what's best for them, and they should really know their fans and how they want their story to be told. So we continuously remind our partners that as long as their content is real, consistent, and that it's not a one-way conversation, they're heading towards the right direction. They have to remember that the Facebook ecosystem is really more than plays and playlists. It really helps artists to grow their audiences, reach more people, and also convert audience to listen to their music on streaming and download services. And so if you're an artist with a new release, I would say that you would consider using our platform for 3 main phases. The first one would be anticipation. So anticipation and expectation around your new release. So how to start making your fans more engaged with your content a few days or a week before your new song comes to life. And so in this anticipation phase, you would be thinking about 2 things. While you are making music, you would probably try to create really cool behind the scenes content. You would capture some time in the studio, or you would be playing some snippet backs. Also, giving fans a glimpse into the creative process is a great way to get them to engage with you. We've also seen some artists interact with their fans by asking feedback on the music itself, or on the artwork, or the lyrics, or the themes. So when you are making music, try and capture as much as possible where it's happening, because you can either post it in real time or keep it for later. And then when you announce the music, it's when you are going to publish video content that gets fans excited, sometimes involving featured artists. And so the overall idea is to drive fans to get involved in help spreading the word about this new release. So you want to leverage the power of sharing and word of mouth. So posting some BTS content is a good way to make the announcement that music is coming. Also tease it with a pre-release music sticker, for example. It's a good way to get people to catch a glimpse onto the new music. So we usually suggest people to use tools like countdown stickers, pre-release music stickers, and then link them to a pre-save campaign for DSPs. So
with all the labels and the artists, and the experience that you have. Same question we've asked some others is where do you see that they're getting it right? But importantly, what's a common time that they get it? What's a common rookie error? And this is more to be very positive, to take that knowledge to turn it to an advantage.
I will start with the wrongs. So most of the time, one of the most asked questions that we get is, my artist hasn't posted for 6 months and now they have a new record next week. What can I do? Most of the time we would say, well, just make sure to not go dark in between releases. Why? Because your fans' attention doesn't have to be in a promo cycle. You have access to the fans all year round. So you need to stay active even when you don't have an album coming or an album out. This is really your best bet for maximizing engagement when you are going to release something new. And for the right thing to do is very similar to what Shilpa and Ivy were saying before. The artists who do very well on the platform are the ones who create content that is authentic, consistent, and engaging, and also those who use each surface from Facebook, Instagram, even Messenger to create a more engaging and holistic experience for their fans. So we've seen some very, very good ways of engaging with artists. Ellie Goulding has done something very great. She's been using Facebook group to get her super fans involved and spreading the word about her new release. In her Facebook group, that's where she would share exclusive news, build excitement, and launch some key events. But she's also using live to interact with the fans. So she would answer questions, she would premiere her single, she would invite some featured artists to come as guests for the fan chat, and she would also respond to the fans' comments directly in the comments post, so that the fans feel like they are really engaging with the artist.
So it's really a case of staying connected, and even like you say, even if you don't have music to release, just keep talking to your fans, because they've got a lot of other artists they could talk to. If you're not talking to them, they'll go. I think it was
Exactly.
something that Ivy had touched on, is about being inclusive, not the old way of doing it, which was exclusive and hiding and trying to be special in that way. Donna, thanks so much. So we're going to bring the three of you back up, in. It's worked. Yes, the internet has worked for us. Thank you so much. So going back, Shilpa, to the question from Inderjit earlier on, because you disappeared just as it came up. Can you please walk us through the music label journey with Believe from IP and revenue perspective? Now, we should be talking about marketing, but I guess, please, can you walk us through the music label journey with Believe?
It's a very, very large question with a very long answer, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible to cover it up, and they can come in Q&A and we can discuss. But yes, with Believe, the key USP any artist or any label is getting is they are the owner of their content, they are the IP holders of their content, and we are the support system and expertise and technology providing you all the tools to exploit your content in a right way, generate revenue out of it. And of course, we are handling the digital business, so the revenue part comes from your platforms like Facebook, we have Don here, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have DSPs like Spotify and Apple, where you not only generate revenue, but you also look at these platforms as the marketing model. So it's a large question. I hope I've covered in summary the exact answer. Looking forward to have a discussion in Q&A on this.
That's a very good answer. So I guess the next question is for Donna from Nina Marie de Torres, and I hope I got your name right. Is there a way of fast tracking growth with fans? How do I do it quickly?
Okay, so hello, Nina Marie de Torres. I know you because I worked with you before. So great to hear from you again. So a faster way to have a wider reach on Facebook. So apart from creating great content and being consistent all year round with your fans, there's a few tips that you could apply. The first one is the tagging your location. So sometimes, your artist would be somewhere and like a cafe. They could take a picture of the cafe and later post it on Instagram and then tag that location later on. And so what it means is that the post of this artist will surface very quickly on IG Explore. And IG Explore is, a place where people explore topics and interests and passions and new places. And so that's exactly where the artist could actually tap onto a potential audience. Now, I think you are based in the Philippines, so it's very unlikely that you have Reels. But if you have Reels in your market, this is also another way to tap into a wider audience, because Reels is a surface that allows you to have multiple entry points. So when you create a reel, it can go to stories, it can go to your feed, it can go to IG Explore as well. So it allows you to have more views and more consumptions around your content. The last thing that I would also suggest is that if you are collaborating with other artists, or if you have famous artists around you who are already verified on Instagram or Facebook, you can also ask them to comment on your post, and you would do vice versa, so that the people who are verified, their comments always top up at the beginning of your comment box. And so people who don't know you and see the name of a very famous artist in your post will often wonder who you are, and they will be more likely to click on your page and follow you.
So I've been doing, whilst you've been talking, I've been doing all this on my Facebook page, Donna. So, hopefully
you're very famous, Jesper.
Thank you for that, and thank you, Nina. What a great question. So I'm gonna come back to Ivy. We talk about views as kind of an immediate success metric. Is that the only metric for how would you measure success as VS Media?
The very straightforward answer is like how much the creator can make. So that would be the straightforward answer. I think it's like for most of the creator, because like they treat being a creator as a full-time career. So they have to make enough money to be in the full-time career, and by like continuously creating content. So I think the number one key success is like how much money that they can make either through the platform, or either through working with brands, or either through the fans economy, whether the fans is going to give them like virtual gifting, subscription, or like gifting them like buying their own merchandise. So I think that's the number one. The second is like basically on engagement rather than on view, because if your fans is not going to engage or communicate with them, your fan base is basically fake fan base. Particularly in China, like everyone's talk about ghost fans, right? So you may have like 10 million fan base, but the engagement rate is only 1%. So which means the audience is basically not there with you. So that's no use. So I think that will be like the two basic.
Hopefully I don't have any ghosts in my huge Facebook following. Shilpa, same question for you. How do you measure marketing success? It's not business. How do you measure marketing success?
To be very honest, I think if all of us have been speaking the same language, we first, again, as Ivy said, the ghost thing and inorganic, we call it in technically, is inorganic fan base, having them is of no use. And how do we, to answer you, how do we measure the marketing success is basically knowing that your artist has a super fan base, very engaged. If example, one artist comes to me and says, hey, I want to work with Believe, the first thing we are checking is their social media reach, their engagement on their social media, and the success of their track depends on how engaged and how many shares it had on the Facebook, or how the influencers are creating how many content on it. So that's how we, on digital side, we are contemplating the success of a track of an artist is how engaged and real his fan base is, how is their content getting consumed and multiplied in the ecosystem of digital stores. Nice.
So we're really hearing more about engagement than views. So I now need to go and check all my old posts. Now I'm going to. It's not just likes; it's engagement. Right? Sorry, it's likes versus views. Donna, there's another question and I'm not sure you can answer this or not, but how can artists earn can artists earn revenue from their from their content on Facebook? Is there a mechanism like YouTube is a percentage of ad revenue and stuff? Is it the same with Facebook?
So currently we don't have in-stream ads for music content. However, we have some licensing deals in place with the music industry. So with Believe, for example, and other distributors and labels. So what it means is that we have licensed content from all those companies, and we make music available on our platforms through different products like the music stickers, songs and profiles, and when people use those products, it actually gets reported to the label, and the label will make the payment to the artist. So if you're an artist and you have your music available on our platform, it means that you will be paid accordingly to the number of times this music sticker has been used or consumed on our platforms.
Great. Thank you for supporting the artist community. There's an anonymous question here. We just don't know who it came from. So I think this is for Shilpa. How important is it for Indian music creators to use live features on social media and YouTube? Isn't YouTube social media? So
yeah. So happy to take it.
Semantics, but yes.
So I think as we have a lot of creators lobby, we have Ivy and we have from Facebook, Donna. Technically, as a DSP or any other stores, it's very important we are using all the features which are available, especially live, because live is the place where you see the real artist and you can present and interact with your audience in an instant way. So it's very important that you should go live on your Facebook, on your Reels, Instagram pages, on the YouTube, so that you create that for one-on-one interaction. Even if when you are digital, you can share your personal life, you can experience, or even like if as an artist you are releasing your track, you can do on YouTube a proper live hosting. You can go on Reels, go live and share how you are feeling about your life. As you said, you are in a cafe, you can basically tag it that I'm in this place and just share that, hey, I'm sitting in a cafe and sipping a coffee, would you like to join me? So all these creative campaigns can be done. It's just that you need to think more creative with all the applications available.
Nice answer. So there's a question actually it's for you, Shilpa, but I'm going to flip it and I'm going to give this question to Ivy. It's from Akshay. So thank you for your question, Akshay. What do you think artists should focus more on? Building a streaming presence on DSPs and for a DSP. By the way, anyone who tuned into the last Music Matters Academy will learn that the music industry is completely full of three-letter acronyms. DSP is a digital service provider. We also learned that a TLA is a three-letter acronym. So should an artist focus more on building a streaming presence on a digital service provider, or trying to go viral on social media? What's more important, Ivy?
For me, this is a very tricky question, because I think both are really important. Because even though your music published there, but like you have no social media noise, you're basically like very hard to get attention. So like for me, I will say doing the reverse. I will get social media exposure before the music published. So it's the other way around. I think it's more important that way.
But that's great to hear. And that's why you're here, because you are not from the music industry. You're from the creator marketing industry. So that's really interesting. Shilpa, back to you. Is there a model marketing technique to make a track viral on platforms like Facebook or others, taking a social media influence in the music video grantees more streams? I'm not sure what that last bit. So anyway, is there a model? So before we asked about shortcuts, but is there a model?
So to be very honest, as I said earlier when we were discussing, there's no shortcut to any successful super hit track or an artist career to have to become viral or successful in one hit. But I would say yes, there are best strategies and best practices we can use to speed up that whole success tenure and grow faster. It's basically be present on all the social media platforms, because that's where your audience is, and interact with them. But yes, strategies can be discussed. It depends on the genre you are in. It depends on the content you are creating. We have Ivy. If the content is basically created for a short form video platform, then the strategy is different. So it all depends on your content. We can drive a strategy, but there is no set formula which can be applied on all music genre or all artists.
All right.
Yeah.
So Ivy.
Yeah, just want to quickly talk about so we mentioned about doing live streaming to get more audience, right? So basically in China, doing live streaming, like music live streaming is the best way to gain your fan base. So for a new musician, it can easily gain around 10,000 fan base in just one music live. So that's a very interesting function on Douyin or on TikTok. You can basically PK someone. So when you are saying live, you will just invite some of the famous celebrities or famous friends together to do the comparison. That's what we call PK, is singing over the others. So then you can ask your friends to give you virtual gifting or give you points to make sure that you can do better. I think this is a very good way. You earn streams, and then you earn new friends, and then you earn your credibility within your fan base.
Brilliant. Okay, so final question. We're just over the 45-minute mark. So I'm going to come back to Donna first, and then I'm going to ask the same question to all of you. Forget who you work for. Think about music. Think about entertainment. Think about the world we're living in. What is really exciting for you, Donna, right now? What do you see as really exciting in music right now?
Wow, good question. Well, I mean, sorry, but yeah, I think for me, going back to social, I guess, music being social, social being music, this is something that, we've been working around for quite a while now with Facebook and Instagram. And that's a very, very exciting moment for us because we see music as a great value for users on our platforms for everything. So, we've got the music stickers, but we also launched recently Soundmojis, which allows you to send messages through Messenger with music as well. So all of those little things that utilize music in your everyday life to help people to express themselves with this music is very exciting for me. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And I guess, it also implies everything related to AR and VR.
So AR and VR coming up. I think we're going to do a whole academy section on new tech and AI and NFT. I mean, we've already done a session on NFTs, but it was very, 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 very well watched. Okay, so thank you, Donna. Shilpa, what is exciting?
I think the best and exciting thing which I'm seeing currently is the way content is getting consumed in right now. We are 90s kid, our consumption pattern was different, and right now I can see the way the new technology, short video format, DSP consumption, video consumption, the way the content is getting consumed and the way audience is interacting with their celebrities, and the way they are using that music and consuming it on day to day is something very exciting to see.
That's brilliant. So someone's got a big gas cylinder that they're blowing up balloons in the background somewhere. Someone's birthday. That's what it is. Ivy, question to you. The last word. What is really exciting for you right now? Doesn't have to be about music.
What is really exciting is now you can be exactly who you are. So you don't need to pretend anymore because the world is now open for you to showcasing yourself rather than pretending. So I think this is the most exciting part in this new era.
But sometimes you have to be careful what you say. but on that, here we go. Here you go, Shilpa. A question from Nihar. While starting out as an indie artist, is it better to be associated with a label or start as an indie artist on your own? Now that's going to be, I think that's a fairly loaded question for you. Is it better to go with a label or be independent?
To be very honest with you, and I won't speak as if I'm part of Believe and tell you to go ahead with Believe, but As an artist, you really need to know what you want to achieve out of your life. Do you have that capability and patience to be an independent artist, or do you want a label who basically gives you complete setup? You don't want to invest, you do not want to hold IP of your content, you just want to get paid one time and release your content? Go for a label. But if you're looking at a long-term vision for your career and creating a long-term vision of revenue streams, being independent is the right way to go ahead. You have services who can invest in you, give you structure and full teams to go ahead independent. You should pick up independent music, and this is the right time. And especially speaking from India, at least in India, it's the best time to be an artist.
Fantastic. Well, it is an extremely exciting time to be an artist, an extremely exciting time. We've said this before, that artists at the moment have all the tools available to them that every other artist has. It's a completely flat playing field, right? I mean, yes, it's about how you build your audience, and that's why today has been so interesting. Now, we're out of time, but if you are watching this and if you're registered, you can come and meet the speakers. Now we're going to do that at 5 o'clock, so in 10 minutes time. In a private session, you have to be registered and what have you. You've got all that information, and we're going to have Shilpa's going to be there, Ivy's going to be there, Ivy's going to be there, and Rohit, Bhuvan Balm's manager, is joining us as well. So if you want to come and have a chat with those people, please do join in the session at 5 o'clock, but you have to be registered for it. As ever, I've written some notes. I'm going to summarize a fantastic chat today, and thank you so much for all your brilliant insights and for Donna's internet coming back. So what we learned was be patient, know yourself. That was a really interesting line. Be yourself. Have a good team. Target the super fans. Engage with. I can't read my writing. Be inclusive, not exclusive. That was a huge one as well. That's like. Engage with everyone. Be genuine, be authentic, be transparent. Language does matter, so if you can communicate in those local languages. Collaborations, everyone talks about collaborations, but so many musicians don't listen to that core fundamental of success to build an audience is to collaborate with other artists. There is no magic solution. There are no shortcuts. We talked about the 3 phases with Donna, pre-announcing, the teasing, and then the releasing itself. Keep active, stay talking. So even if you don't have anything to talk about it. If you haven't got any music out there, keep talking to your fans. Otherwise, they're going to go and talk to someone else. We said be authentic, be creative, be engaging. Tag your locations, collaborate with the commenters. We talked about live streaming and how much that matters to helping build your audience. That was really cool. We talked about success being measured by engagement as well as views. And that was really interesting as well. And then finally, Ivy's wonderful message at the end there that the world, ladies and gentlemen, the world is open. So with that, I would like to thank Ivy. I would like to thank Shilpa. I'd like to thank Donna for joining us at the Music Masters Academy today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesper.
And with that, we're also going to say thank you to all of our wonderful speakers who've been with us all day today, talking about marketing, talking about how to get your word out there. So if you are a musician or a manager or wanting to understand more about the music business, I hope you've learned a lot today about that fan reach and engagement. Please do look out for our next edition. It's coming up soon. I can't remember what the subject is, but the Academy is going all the way to the end of the year. But thank you again to our speakers. Thank you to our sponsors, to YouTube, to Believe, to Dolby, and to Steinberg Protocol again. Thank you to all our media partners for helping us get the word out. And thank you also, of course, to the wonderful branded team for making this seamless. So thank you, everyone. We will see you again soon. If you want to meet the other speakers, remember 5 o'clock in the private chat room. But we'll see you soon.